Hey, what's up? Hello! Welcome to Hair for Yogis. I just want to go over a couple of concepts for you guys at the beginning of the new year to hopefully elevate your practice just an inch more, just by knowing kind of what to do with your hair when you go into a yoga practice. So we're going to go over a couple of different things. We're going to go over bobby pins, ponytails, buns, and braids. And we'll even throw a headband or two in there as well because I know a lot of you guys use that. So to start off with, just kind of talk about why we end up messing with our hair during yoga. Yoga is a practice that is all about balance, number one, and number two, it's a practice where you sort of need to get the rest of the world out of your way so that you can focus. And unfortunately, the way we normally wear our hair to yoga classes does not allow for either one of those things. It normally looks something like this. So it's in a pile on the top of my head, which is fine. There's definitely no judgment there, and sometimes, I look like this too. However, there are a couple of different ways that are fairly quick that you can put your hair up, no matter how much of it that you have, and keep it out of your way for your hour or hour and a half long or however much yoga practice. So first things first, I want to start with the bobby pin. Bobby pins are made with these little pieces on the end that make sure they don't stab you. They are made with this grippy part on the outside that is actually meant to turn and go inside towards your scalp, that grippy part is. And they are also made with a very specific amount of tension through the ends here. So the number one thing, if you take anything away from this video, stop opening these bobby pins, because once you open them with your teeth, or with your fingernails, or however you want to do that, they are no longer, the tension will never get back to where it was. So the first thing you want to do is not open them. So let's say I wanted to get my bangs out of my way for a yoga practice. Instead of opening this, I'm going to hold the hair that makes up my bangs fairly tight over here, and I am going to slide grippy part in. I'm going to slide that bobby pin in there, and boom, yoga bangs out of my way. You should not have to open to get all that hair in there. This is not a good look for me, so let's get rid of that. So bobby pins are really important. How do you put a bobby pin in if, let's say you're trying to hold a lot of hair? Well, it's more important that you fold the hair over. So you're going to use the strength of this fabric here. You're going to fold that over, and the strength of the fabric should withhold anything that's in there. So as we do buns, I'm going to show you that you should be able to slide that down into the outside of the hair, fold that over like that, and push it in so that you're grabbing hair from the top, folding it over, and using it to lock the hair down on the other side. So with that said, let's get into kind of hemispheres of the head, of the cranium. You've got a couple of different flat spots and a couple of round spots. So let's call them sides and corners. And just one overall way to say this is you want to look for your corners. So you've got some flat spots here, 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 and here, which you should know very well because these are the places where we utilize our cranium during yoga. We lay back in Shavasana, we do some side poses here, and headstands right here on the flat of your head. So these are places we want to avoid any bulkiness, be that ponytails, ponytail holders, braids, anything. We want to avoid all of the flat spots. So with that in mind, we can talk about ponytails, braids, and buns, and just know that what you're looking for are the rounded spots here, the corners that we don't use. So no matter what technique you use, you want to put those things there, even if all you're doing is pinning your hair up. You want to spread that out so that you're pinning to the corners through here. Ponytails, they are a lot of us, they are our go-to because they keep our hair up off of our neck. So if you want your hair off of your neck, I would say if you're gonna do a ponytail, split that into two. That keeps the hair off of your neck there, but it also allows you to lay back or to either side, no matter where you put that. So you could put two ponytails here, two back here, at the bottom, just maybe not within this hemisphere right here where your flat spot is. So should you want to go pretty basic, even if you do a good messy ponytail, if you just put those below your ears as opposed to right in the back, you're going to end up with a perfect place to put all of your self during yoga. Same with buns. Buns are the same thing. You can do a messy bun there, or you can do a tighter one. I would say if you're looking at going to a yoga class that is fairly rigorous, you're gonna wanna do a tight one, and you're gonna wanna do it flat, or as flat as possible to your head. So I'm gonna show you that on this side. We're gonna take it up to the top. If you have seen me, if you're a fellow epic yogi, you have seen me wear my hair like this more often than not. You're going to twist it, and as opposed to keeping twisting it, making it really tight and getting those kind of space bun looking big ones, once you twist that, you're going to fold that over, and once it begins to turn, you're gonna lay your hand there. You're just gonna wrap it around really flat. And then you can even take each side and pull it like you're breaking apart a donut. Do you see how that flattened that out against my scalp? The next thing you're gonna do is take your bobby pin, grippy side in towards the scalp. You're gonna set that in right here, let's say where I'm holding my fingers. Do you see how that's sitting up on its own? That's important. That's what tells you that you've got enough hair to fold over and lock that hair down. So we've got it sitting up on its own here. We're gonna turn it so that we've got grippy part to the inside, and then we're just gonna push that in there. Okay, so we're gonna do that maybe 3 times. There it is sitting on its own. And one here where this finger is. Gonna be in, turn, and up. All right, so I've got it flat to my scalp. So if I lay here, even though there's a little bit of excess right here, it's gonna lay a little flatter because it is flat to my scalp. Same with the back, and same with headstands. Next part will be braids. With a braid, same concept. The cool thing about braids is they are naturally pretty flat, and they already use the fabric of the hair for tension and to keep those things in check. So my recommendations again would be to braid starting right at the ears, unless you French braid, in which case, awesome. Do that on the entire corner. So you'll start right here, back of the ear, braid it down, put a little ponytail holder in there. You can either leave that like that, or if you're concerned with that kind of flopping around, the other thing that you can do is wrap that right there and wrap this one here and pin that down in there, because you have a round space here that will be tucked under if you're laying on that flat. So you've got a little space to kind of put all of your hair. So same goes with buns, or if you just want to put your hair there and pin it crazy, you've got that sacred space right there. The reason I say to split it in 2 is because that's where you're gonna get the air back here, and that's also the way you're gonna be able to have full mobility for any kind of back bend or anything like that. So the only other thing really to cover is headbands. And the only thing that I would say about that is make sure you have a really thick, hopefully cotton, stretchy, soft headband. And I know that the tighter ones, they hold a lot more hair and you feel a lot more secure. However, that's also, you've got such important pressure points here. You've got temples, you've got in front of the ears, you've got a little bit behind the ears, and you've got 3 really big ones here in the back. So that's, all of the places that a headband covers. So when you put a really tight headband there, it's gonna stop the blood flow. So if you're in down dog and the blood flows all the way down and just stops at that headband, that's not necessarily good. And 2, it's gonna push on some of those pressure points, and maybe times that you maybe need more blood flow, you wouldn't necessarily wanna do that. So big, thick cotton one. If you feel like it's coming off or doesn't hold your hair well enough, you can add a bobby pin. The big thing about this is you're gonna add a bobby pin behind your ear, and the instinct is to take that and push it up. Again, we've got the grippy side here, to push that up to hold it. But the problem with that is your headband wants to go this way to come off. So you're actually gonna turn it around and come in through the back here, and push it in right there, right underneath the ear here, so that no matter what I do, if it tries to go that way, it's gripping the hair underneath there. So I hope that helps, and I hope your next yoga practice is peaceful and without having to fix your hair.